MTN SME Hub. Link to growth. Link to success. Link to the ultimate resource for business advice and insights.
Welcome back to the Big Small Business Show. In studio with us today, we've got Rishav Juglall. He's the founder and MD of Rocky Brands. He's been telling us his phenomenal story, starting at the age of 21, literally cliched in the garage, to having a staff now of 48 people and growing, and and supplying 70% of the retailers in the country. So I want to talk to you about your personal journey, you as entrepreneur, as Rishav. You know, as a 21-year-old, not only are you young, we often are immature, you know, like from an entrepreneurship perspective. We think that it's going to be relatively easy, and we, you know, especially when we get the first deal and we think we've made it, probably go out and buy something we shouldn't have. So I really want to hear the story now in this 8-minute slot about Rishav, the human being, and how you've had to evolve as a human, as a leader, as an entrepreneur.
So the person I am today is miles apart from the individual I was at 21 when we were still in the garage. And when you were still in the garage, things were easy. You didn't have to think about too many facets of the business. You had sales, you probably the delivery guy, did a little bit of admin after hours, and you woke up and did the whole thing again. And after employing a few people and understanding that, hey, you know what, we've got something that we can grow, we can nurture and let it flourish in the retail space, you kind of develop this little bit of an ego about yourself. Mm-hmm. You get confident very quickly, mm-hmm. and you soon find out that, you know, once you are responsible for putting food on people's table, it really changes your perception on life. And I think that's very important. I think that it levels you up to a place where you a one-man band, to a place where you need to be a leader, and people look at you differently when you walk into the office. They judge you by what you wear, how you smell, the way that you go for meetings, how you conduct yourself in the office. And what I have realized over the past few years is that it's very easy to manage a team of 7. Anything under 10 is very easy. The moment you get crossover to 15, 20, there's so many moving parts. There's so many personalities that are involved. Now, there's no textbook you read on how to manage people. What you do is you find the best, you find the sweet spot that sits best with you, and you run with that. And I can tell you, the last year, this 2020, end of 2024 and 2025 was my most challenging year ever. Recently got married about 2 years ago to my lovely wife. And in the last year, I learned so much about myself. We were working 16, 18 hours, never saw my wife, never see my dogs, probably just went home to sleep, and that was it. And I realized that as humans, we have a breaking point. Mm-hmm. And I actually discovered my breaking point for the first time. Mm-hmm. Going home, getting some takeaway, eating, going straight to bed because you've had it for the day. Mm. And you've got to wake up in the morning and do the whole thing over again. And I probably did it for about 48 to 52 days straight. And I've never done that before. I took like probably a 2-week break, 3-week break, and got back into the swing of it. But that breaking point is so important to any entrepreneur because it helps you level up and understand that this journey is continuous. Mm-hmm. There's never an end date to it. You know, you have to evolve as a human being. And if I go back to the days where we were one employee and there were several of us, it was so easy because at 4:30 you could clock off, go to the gym, and live your life thereafter. Now there's so many parts to it. You know, you have to start putting job descriptions in place. You have to start holding put key performance indicators for different staff members who you feel not towing the line. And that can only happen after hours. It cannot happen between your 8 to 5, because your 8 to 5 is running the business. And it took me so many years to understand this, because if you eat up your working day, when everyone else closes, that's the time that you do the building, the back end building of the business. And that has, I've learned a lot of about myself in that environment. My parents, who also played a pivotal role in Rocky Brands, have taken themselves out completely, and they're on their own now, and they kind of mentoring the other individuals. And it gave the chance for the new entrants to thrive, flourish and thrive, but also it let me know that you've got to stand on your own 2 feet, and if something fails or falters, there's no one else to rely on. You are where the buck stops. And that was a huge learning curve for me. But again, that's the entrepreneurial journey.
We've got about 2 minutes left. There's an entrepreneur who's watching this right now. They're not doing so well. They are battling. They've just lost a deal. They've just lost a key employee, and they want to give up. Okay, I've been there. You've been there. What advice would you give to that entrepreneur watching the show right now?
My one most important bit of advice would be remember why you started. Some people left a job. Some people just decided that they wanted to stop studying and they wanted to go on their own and do their own thing. It's so important to stay grounded and understand that this entrepreneurial journey is a very long road, and you have to be able to walk that journey. It's I've numerous amount of time I wanted to throw in the towel, but I realized that there are people who are counting on me. And the one bit of advice I would say is stay true to yourself and understand what it is that you started for. And sometimes it may require just a realign and a little bit of introspection into you as an individual, because I'm young. I still believe that I got another 24, 30 good years in me to keep going. And the worst thing is to make a decision now and regret it in the future.
On that note, we're going to end this interview. Thank you. I appreciate all that advice. And I'm going to predict something, that in the next few years, that 48 employees is going to be 480 employees. I've been watching your journey from the outside for many years. It's been an absolute privilege to watch your journey as you've matured. And I mentioned your exhaustion because I think I met you in that time about 2 years ago. I think I had a meeting with you, and I could see I know that feeling, and you made it through that. So absolute inspiration. Keep doing what you're doing, and I hope this was as valuable to you as it was to me. And always remember, if you think it, write it down and make it a reality.
The Big Small Business Show, proudly sponsored by MTN Business.